Hey guys, it's Shadow. Today we're going to be looking at which civ has the best halberdiers across a range of different metrics. There are 5 civs which undoubtedly stand out to me as having the best halbs in the game. These are Burmese, Celts, Japanese, Slavs and Teutons. All of these civs have better than fully upgraded halberdiers. Celts have a speed bonus, making them more able to trade with cavalry in the first place. They are still slower than most cavalry units, but this makes it so your opponent has to pay a little more attention when dealing with your halbs. Burmese get an additional 3 attack, bringing their total to 13. This makes them a little better versus cavalry, but much more competitive against other unit types. Mayan and Inca Eagle warriors for reference only have 13 attack when fully upgraded, and champions have 17 attack when fully upgraded without any other bonuses. They're also able to 4-shot villages as opposed to the standard 5 needed for other fully upgraded halbs, making them stronger for raiding as well. Slavs get Druzinha, causing your halbs to deal splash damage. Druzinha makes it so your infantry deal 5 damage to adjacent units in a 0.5 tile radius. This makes them a little better against cavalry than vanilla, but similar to Burmese, this makes it so the halbs are much more dangerous to other units than usual. Slav halbs in decent numbers defeat all other halbs, but are generic in a 1v1 situation. Japanese infantry attacks 33% faster, making Japanese halbs extremely dangerous for enemy cavalry. Japanese halbs had the highest DPS against cavalry units of any halb, and beat all other halbs in a 1v1 situation with the exception of Burmese and Teutons. Teutons get an additional 2 melee armor than other halbs do, making them significantly stronger against melee cavalry. For instance, a fully upgraded cavalier has 16 attack and would normally deal 13 damage per attack to a halberdier, but this becomes 11 against Teutons, allowing a Teuton halb to survive 1 additional attack. Similarly to Paladin, Teuton halbs survive 1 additional attack over generic fully upgraded halbs. They also beat every other halb with the exception of Burmese in a 1v1 situation and Slavs when there are mass halbs involved. This means that each of these halbs are technically best in different situations. In terms of a halb being used in an isolated one-on-one situation against a non-cavalry unit, Burmese win in terms of their usability. I do not believe that this is the most important metric to use when judging halberdiers, but it is useful nonetheless. Burmese halbs are also decently better at raiding than generic and taking down buildings. For the purpose halbs are created for primarily killing cavalry, Japanese come out on top, with Teutons being a close second. These two civs are the only ones which consistently win a halb versus cavalier battle. The Japanese ones do this due to higher DPS, and Teutons due to being able to survive 1 additional hit. I personally believe this is the most important metric for judging which civ has the strongest halbs, as this is why you generally create them. For the purposes of catching cavalry out in bad positions and forcing fights, Celts win. In terms of raiding your opponent's economy, I personally believe Celt wants to be the best, as I value the speed slightly more over the damage output for raiding. Burmese are second in this metric, and Japanese third due to the higher DPS. In terms of using halbs en masse, Slav ones win in most metrics for damage output, with the exception of being used against massed cavalry. Burmese and Japanese follow Slavs in terms of damage output, although Teutons having the extra armor means they can dish more damage out for longer. Something else to note is that every civ in this list, with the exception of Slavs, do not have to research an additional technology to make their halbs the best they can be, making the Slav halb strengths less readily available than other civs. However, assuming that resources are not an issue, I would place Teuton halbs first, followed by Japanese and Slavs. Burmese would be 4th and Celts 5th. The reasoning I have the Teutons above Japanese is because they trade better versus other units and halbs than Japanese ones do, whilst trading almost as well against cavalry as Japanese do. Do you agree with the order in which I have placed each civ? Have I missed something out? Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel to keep up to date with my videos. Thanks for watching.